Say our year is over even before we've completed a full trip around the sun.
Right.
Okay? And so, but when we've backed up by a day, then we throw in an extra day to line things up again. So here is my issue. Okay? You ready?
Go ahead.
Are you seated?
I am.
Let's stick with the lingo. What is the longest day of the year?
June 20-something.
The first day of summer.
Right.
Longest day of the year. If the first day of summer is the longest day of the year,
right,
then every day in summer has to be getting shorter.
Oh, that sucks. This is why people don't want to go to the movies with you, man.
John, so people say days get longer than summer. No, they don't. They get shorter.
They do. Oh, that's messed up.
Okay, let's finish it.
Go ahead.
Okay? What is the shortest day of the year?
It's the winter, the December 20-something.
December 21st, the winter solstice.
Right.
If that's the shortest day of the year, then every day after that is longer. And so days get longer in the winter and shorter in the summer.
Well, there you go, people. Neil deGrasse, once again, he has ruined something that you all thought were true. You all thought that summer was the time when the days got longer. Not so. And by the way, what you just said is so simple, it is almost elegant.
And the same people who say days get longer in the summer are telling you that the longest day of the year is the first day of summer. These are two logically inconsistent sentences.
They certainly are.
I always thought it was odd that daylight saving time, which takes an hour of sunlight from the morning to put it at the end of the day, it's giving you an extra hour of daylight when you least need it. Okay? In New York City, in June, the sun sets at 8:30. Okay? And twilight is long. It goes another hour. You know? You don't need... Do you need it? When do you need the daylight saving hour?
Yeah, you kind of would put it at the end of the day.
But no, excuse me, what time of year do you need extra sunlight at the end?
Oh, I want it in the wintertime.
Thank you.
Yeah, when the days are, short.
Thank you.
Yeah,
so to me, the whole concept of daylight saving time was backwards. Just growing up, I was trying to come to terms with the world that I was absorbing as I was coming of age as a child scientist.
But see, farmers start their day much earlier than everybody. So maybe it was to give them the extra hour so that...
Wait. Excuse me. Wait, excuse me?
Yeah.
Does the farmer really care what time it is? No. When does the sun rise and sunset, and what do the crops do? I heard someone say, I don't like daylight saving time because the crops need that extra hour in the morning. I heard somebody say that, and I said, crops don't keep track of your time. Like, I don't care what time you say it is when the sun rises or sets.
That's funny. It's not like you're gonna walk out to the field and the corn will be like, "Yo, man, you late."
By the way, there's a big difference between the duration of the day in the summer and in the winter. So in New York City, we're at 40 degrees north latitude. This would be true also for 40 degrees south. And it's not very different as you go up or down a few degrees. Los Angeles is 30 degrees north. Santiago, Chile is 30 degrees south. You know, most of civilization has found itself into these bands, and north and south of the equator. So we can get 16 hours of daylight in the summertime, and the inverse of that, we get universe, it's 16 hours a day, 8 hours a night, 16 hours a night, 8 hours a day. So it's all sort of symmetric that way. Then I got another one for you. Okay? If we have summer going into winter from June to December,
Right.
and the southern hemisphere is opposite. So when we have our longest days, they have their shortest days, right? There's the 2 days of the year where we all meet because we're two ships crossing in the night. Okay?
Right.
If we have longer days than you do, and later on you have longer days than we do, at some point everything equals out.
Right.
And you can take a guess, just guess when that is.
I'm gonna say the solstice.
No.
No? No. So there's 2 days when everything equals out. Equinox. That's why it's called the equinox.
Equinox means night, so equinight. So on the equinoxes, the daylight equals the night. Equinox. Everybody gets 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night.
But that's in both places.
Because we're crossing.
Right. Gotcha.
Okay?
Right.
They're going from winter to summer, we're going from summer to winter, and there's a point where everybody has to cross. That's when the whole world has 12 hours of sunlight, 12 hours
of daylight. Oh, I love that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I love being Earth. Earth is a good thing. So Chuck,
Yeah.
so there you have it. Again, I didn't mean to spoil your understanding of the known universe.
No, it's not about that. It's
You
just
were upset halfway in this.
because you're supposed to enjoy the longer, lazy days of summer, and now we have to enjoy the frantic, shorter days of summer because each day is less and less of the best time of year.
Instead, you will cherish those few extra moments of light you had today relative to tomorrow.
You don't know me very well. See, that's not happening. I'm too anxiety ridden for that.
That's not how you roll.
I get it though. It's certainly not as much fun to think about having longer days. You know what I mean?
And it is I, your science bard,
Right.
bidding ye and thee and all thou to keep looking.
Why is the sky ever dark? And part of the answer, one way to think of the answer, is that light travels at a finite speed. And therefore, not every spot actually has a light source where the light has had time to reach your eye. Right? Another point has to be...
An object can be so far away in the time it has turned on.
It's light
It's not enough time in the universe to reach it. It's like one of 3 ways.
Yeah, there are different ways out of this thing, but that's one way that you can think about it, right? The other way is this detection limit. Your eyes can't see them even though it's there, right? Right now, one of the famous things that we do in science is to try to find cosmic background radiation, right? Microwave radiation is famous for the Big Bang, but also there's cosmic infrared radiation background, there's cosmic visible light background. Exactly how much is it? Spaces that we looked years ago that were completely blank, had nothing in there. We stare at it with the Hubble Space Telescope or JWST, and thousands of galaxies appear. It's all a matter of detection. And if we're talking about like the light from the Big Bang, where the entire universe is being filled with all of this light that existed at the moment that the universe began, what's going on there is that the entire spectrum of that background light is being stretched as space is expanding. So that's why that light, which used to be gamma rays, is now microwaves. And so you can fill the space.
An energy branch of the spectrum.
So you can fill the space with the same amount of energy, just each spot in space has much less.
I was wondering the other week if gravity affects the flow of time in black holes or concentrated gravity. Would the age of the universe be different based on the size of your nearest black hole? Side question, If I were to make a theoretical cloak of black holes around my body, would time cease to exist for me, or would it change the rate of time inside the cloak at all?
To answer the cloak question first,
Yeah.
you can't make a cloak of theoretical black holes because you create basically one big black hole as a result.
Right.
You need stuff on the inside. Time could stand still, but you've created essentially an event horizon around the interior of this cloak. So time could stand still for you if you were keeping time still at that point.
So could you make like a Lagrange point of black holes, where all the black holes are in a stable little, environment,
Yes.
and each event horizon is touching just enough where it doesn't tug, and then you're just perfectly perched right in that middle of that.
You cannot put black holes just so they barely touch by event horizon and keep them stable. The quantum mechanical effects of gravitational radiation will inevitably cause them to crash into it.
Okay.
Because they're not that way.
Einstein there's an object, and space-time is warped in the presence of that object, and everything you do and how you move is influenced by this curvature of space-time, and you measure that curvature to be gravity. So it turns out that might sound semantic, but that Einsteinian description is way more accurate in predicting phenomena in the universe. The universe is under no obligation to make sense to you.
Well, it succeeded. It certainly succeeded. That is insane.
By the way, me uttering that line was lifted by Beyonce for her international tour between songs.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
All right. So who is the author of that particular quote?
That's him, man.
It would be me.
That's him.
Thank you.
Oh,
I didn't know that before. That's why I.
you didn't know? Okay.
No sarcasm.
Yeah, what that sound?
So wait a minute. Okay,
We are
now
not
I'm derailing
presidents.
the show.
What?
I gotta derail the show. I'm sorry.
Because somebody mentioned Beyonce.
Yes, exactly.
You can't even stay focused.
Come on, we can't stay. Come on, you mentioned Beyonce. I mean, it's a law. Whenever somebody mentions Beyonce, all things must stop, and we gotta talk about Beyonce now.
Do one of the greatest videos of all time.
Which was
Of all time.
evolved. Oh, that's right. I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay. Okay. Please. What did Beyonce? How did Beyonce get this
What?
quote?
I'm on the internet somewhere saying it. And her people, or she, saw it, said, that's cool.
No, but what I'm saying is, did they use your voice?
Yes.
Okay, that's
All
different.
right.
Is she violent?
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking it's like, got me looking so crazy right now. Thank you. We are all prisoners. Like, that's how I thought it went down.
Yeah.
But it's you. It's actually you.
It's my voice.
Okay,
We're
that's
all
cool.
just prisoners here.
Yeah. That was my voice. Yes.
Okay, this is Wendy Sue, and Wendy says, hi, Dr. Tyson, Dr. Lou. If gravity is the curvature of space-time, say if two celestial objects were to stay completely still relative to each other, they would feel zero effect from each other's gravity because they are not moving through the fabrics. Thanks for bringing back the joys of learning. Okay, I don't think, I missed the question.
No.
If gravity is the curvature of space-time,
Yes.
say if two celestial objects were to stay completely relative to each other, they would feel zero effect from each other's gravity.
Right. They
Okay.
would. They would.
I guess the question is that the
Would it?
case? Is
Right.
this the case?
It turns out that no, they would still feel the effects. You see, because gravity, say you have object A, it has a gravitational field, it distorts space-time around it. Object B is over here, it distorts space-time around it. Even if they're still with one another, they still feel the distortions. The distortions do not change with time if they're exactly far apart, but they still feel each other. So they may not accelerate toward each other, but they feel that force.
This question's from Logical Hillbilly, from wonderful West Virginia. I have a question about white holes. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Although Einstein's equations show that mathematically they can exist, nothing has been found that fits the description. Is it possible that there was only one white hole and it was what we know as the Big Bang? Thank you for all the awesome information.
Alas, no. The white hole idea and what we have seen about the Big Bang are not compatible.
Wow, that only took 9 seconds.
I told you.
Record.
I told you. I told you.
Will you yield 10 seconds to me?
I yield 20 seconds.
Yeah, because yield 10 seconds to the gentleman from the Bronx. Okay. So when white holes were first put forth, we deeply wanted quasars to be white holes at the edge of the universe. There's a very high concentration of energy coming out of them. And when you compared what you'd predict for a white hole with every known object in the universe, nothing matched. So the white hole remains mathematical speculation, unfortunately, because it'd be a really cool pairing with the universe's black holes.
Yeah. Right. Last question.
All right.
Last question, okay.
All right.
Flies when you're having
Charles and I have been
fun.
doing okay.
Right, Gabe Malik. I'm a high school student from Washington, D.C. I'm writing, what is the most agreed upon geometrical nature of the universe? Euclidean or non-Euclidean? Or is it spherical?
Oh, okay.
It's Euclidean.
Flat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, flat
It
universe.
has been confirmed as a consensus almost completely by everyone.
Yeah, no one is denying this, and we get that from the dark energy, which flattens out what would otherwise be a spherical shape or a saddle shape. Dark energy flattens that out.
That is still a mathematical hypothesis.
What is?
We have measured the universe to be Euclidean and perfectly flat. And then we think that it is the dark energy that causes it to stay flat. Like it inflates it just enough. But we don't really know that.
What do you think is making it flat?
We don't know. But that is
Don't tell me.
one hypothesis.
I told you it was making it flat.
You have to confirm that. It has not yet been an experiment.
Is there something else out there that you think could be making it flat?
Possibly.
Like what?
Something called quintessence, which is not exactly dark energy. Why is the sky ever dark? And part of the answer, one way to
Exactly. Please, are you kidding me? Stay focused. Come on. We can't stay. Come on. You mentioned Beyonce. I mean, it's a law. Whenever somebody mentions Beyonce, all things must stop, and we got to talk about Beyonce now. Okay.
one of the greatest videos of all time.
Twice.
Of all time.
Evolved. Oh, that's right. I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm gonna let you
finish. Okay. Okay. Please. What did Beyonce? How did Beyonce get this quote?
I'm on the internet. somewhere saying it. And her people, or she, saw it, said, that's cool.
No, but what I'm saying is, did they use your voice?
Yes.
Okay, that's
All
different.
right. She violated your copyright.
So here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking it's like, got me looking so crazy right now. Thank you. We are all prisoners. Like, that's how I thought it went down.
Yeah.
But it's you. It's actually you.
It's
saying
my voice.
Okay, that's cool.
Prisoners here.
Yeah. It was my voice. Yes.
Okay, this is Wendy Sue, and Wendy says, hi, Dr. Tyson, Dr. Lou. If gravity is the curvature of space-time, say if two celestial objects were to stay completely still relative to each other, they would feel zero effect from each other's gravity because they are not moving through the fabrics. Thanks for bringing back the joys of learning. Okay, I don't think, I missed the question. If gravity is the curvature of space-time, say if two celestial objects were to stay completely relative to each other, they would feel zero effect from each other's gravity. Okay.
They would.
I guess the question is that the case? Is this the case?
It turns out that, no, they would still feel the effects. You see, because gravity, say you have object A, it has a gravitational field, it distorts space-time around. Object B is over here, it distorts space-time around it. Even if they're still with one another, they still feel the distortions. The distortions do not change with time if they're exactly far apart, but they still feel each other. So they may not accelerate toward each other, but they feel that force.
This question's from Logical Hillbilly, from wonderful West Virginia. I have a question about white holes. Here we go. Although Einstein's equations show that mathematically they can exist, nothing has been found that fits the description. Is it possible that there was only one white hole and it was what we know as the Big Bang? Thank you for all the awesome information.
Alas, no. The white hole idea and what we have seen about the Big Bang are not compatible.
Wow, that only took 9 seconds.
I told you.
Record.
I told you. I told you.
Will you yield 10 seconds to me?
I yield 20 seconds.
Yeah,
Yield 10 seconds to the gentleman from the Bronx. Okay. So when white holes were first put forth, we deeply wanted quasars to be white holes at the edge of the universe. There's a very high concentration of energy coming out of them. And when you compared what you predict for a white hole with every known object in the universe, nothing matched. So the white hole remains mathematical speculation. Unfortunately, because it'd be a really cool pairing with the universe's black hole.
Yeah.
right. Last question.
All right.
Last question, okay.
All right.